So right. So there are reports that Red Dead Redemption 2 was, in a broken state on release. The game will not come, it won't even start up. And this is the PC version anyways. Now, I'm not getting the PC version unless it's like $5 because I have a free copy for the PS4. When I got my PS4 Pro, I got a copy with it. So to buy the PC version, in my opinion, is just a waste of money. And currently, from the reports I'm seeing, some people have said that they've released a patch that's actually making the game playable now. And the game looks good and all that good stuff, everything a PC game should have. But I'm not necessarily so eager to play the game that I'm going to go buy myself another copy. But this brings me to discussing the subject matter today, which is, a lot of I think the culture now of launching video games are launch it first and then fix it later. And I think it ties into my video that I made yesterday, if gamers have actually learned anything. And, there was some response on that video. I appreciate you guys for responding to the video, by the way, those of you who commented. That video pretty much is very indicative of how gamers are now approaching, their purchases. Now, some people said $60 is not a lot to think about in terms of putting into, a video game. And yeah, $60 for an individual is not a big deal. But, if everybody had that attitude, how are the gaming companies supposed to be better? I guess there is one way, but it doesn't really depend on the consumer's attitude. But the consumer's attitude seems to be the biggest factor that makes these gaming companies feel like they can get away with anything. But at the end of the day, you're the consumer and you can spend your money however you please. That is your prerogative. But this new Rockstar launcher, with the issues that it faced at first, I think it goes to show that Steam is worth its own salt. So if you look at a lot of the concerns from developers and, developing companies saying, Steam's business model is unrealistic. Steam's business model does not seem to support, developers, it sounds like a very wonderful claim until you look at how equipped Steam is to handle today's PC gaming. If you look at all the functionality that Steam has, not just the chart that somebody put out there, but I'm talking about extensively, like a wish list, things like, the multiplayer, capabilities, the integrations that Steam has. I think the platform is actually worth, being used. I think it's worth being a platform that gamers can say they can comfortably, play on. Because over the years, Valve was not necessarily in the business of making video games after some of its massive hit releases, I think Steam just focused on what it needed to focus on instead of competing with everybody on who's going to make the best video game and who's going to release the best video game. I think they took the time and they followed the vision to develop a PC storefront that will serve the needs of PC gamers. And largely, they have done a good job to the point that if you bring your own game launcher right now, it's only going to be compared to Steam. And if it doesn't meet up to Steam, you are going to get a huge number of people who will tell you, until you bring it to Steam, we're not touching your game, which right now is a consensus of a lot of people after even hearing that this Rockstar launcher would not even work in the first few hours of the release of the game. It just solidified their concerns that if they're not going to be getting the Steam package, then they're not going to touch the game. And as much as people may say, well, even if you get it on Steam, you're still going to need the Rockstar launcher in order to be able to play it. I feel like there's still a valid concern, and I think the position of waiting for it to come out on Steam is still a valid position because Steam has a very amazing refund policy. If you play the game for about 2 hours or less, you can request a refund without any questions asked. All you have to do is select the box, and you can even put the reason why you want a refund back for the game. I mean, you know how many games I've tested and tried on PC, and I'm like, this game is not for me, and so I just refund it. Now I know on PlayStation Store, I don't think you can get a refund if you order a game and you play the game already. I don't think you can even get your money back. Maybe if it's a pre-order, I don't even know what the refund policy is for PlayStation. I wouldn't even buy a game on console until I know exactly what the game is, or I rent it at Redbox to test it out. That's usually how I test out games on console that are console exclusives. Or I buy them. If I don't like them, then I have to take a loss by trading it in or selling it on like some marketplace. So Steam still provides that convenience, for you to be able to, spend your money wisely and also be able to be pretty much risk-free. So that risk-free convenience that Steam provides is just something that a lot of PC gamers are about. Now, Epic Games Store might have something of that nature, but I do know I've processed a lot of refund requests as well, but nothing after I've played the game in terms of Epic Store. So I've two main games or two major titles I've played on the Epic Games Store are Metro Exodus and Borderlands 3. And I kept those games, so I didn't get to refund them. But when I did some refunds for some other games, like in terms of pre-orders, they were able to quickly refund my money back. In fact, Borderlands, I pre-ordered, refunded, pre-ordered, refunded, pre-ordered, refunded like 4 times. And then I just say, you know what, I'm gonna keep my pre-order because I want to play it on PC day one. And so I made that decision and I stuck with it. And so I think gamers are continually being cautious. From the comment sections of all the videos talking about its performance, there's one done by Boomstick Gaming, one done by Pretty Good Gaming, one done by Game Ranks. Those 3 videos I read extensively. A lot of comments of people saying, "Hey, we're just gonna wait for the Steam package," and some people saying, "I already had it on console, so there's no need for me to play it." But those who are exercising more caution are starting to become in increased numbers. Gamers are starting to be more in tune and more cognizant on how they actually make these purchasing decisions. And I feel like Rockstar should have been much more prepared to polish this game up and make sure everything was in working condition before bringing it out, because now they've set out an impression that makes everybody think, well, it might not be worth using this Rockstar launcher. Because one thing about PC gaming is when you make games for PC, it's actually, in my opinion, a little bit more challenging, I think, because a console is a closed system. You can develop the game on one console and it will most likely perform the same way on every other unit, except maybe you have some very weird issues cropping up. And there have been broken glitches on console games, don't get me wrong, and then on some other consoles they work fine. But largely you have a good chance of the game performing in a similar fashion on a console. On a PC, on the other hand, you have to deal with a lot of the variation that you find. Somebody might have 32 gigs of a RAM, or somebody might have a BIOS that might not somebody said I had to update my BIOS just to get the game to start. That is ridiculous. Some people said day one, I just clicked the button and it just powered on. So that's one of the challenges of making PC games. And so I think, they can be given a little bit of leeway here in a sense, but at the same time, they have made a lot of other successful PC titles. So maybe bringing it on their own launcher is where we need to say, okay, let's show them a little bit of grace. Let's show this multi-billion-dollar company a little bit of grace, and let's not blow things out of proportion, because I think it's easy for people to just go out and make an uproar and saying, oh, here we go again, it's broken. No, I don't think that's the attitude we need to have, but I think it's just the attitude where we need to keep having these conversations as grown-ups and stating our reasons clearly. If the game comes on Steam and it goes on a sale and I never get to play it on my PlayStation 4 and I decide, hey, I want to play it today, I would prefer to play it on PC, honestly. I've only played like the first chapter and a half on console, so I'm even now more reluctant to even continue playing it on console, because I'm looking forward to that opportunity, or to that possibility that it might be released on Steam and go on sale, and at that point I'll buy myself a copy. But this is what I wanted to discuss with you guys today. I want you guys to please respond in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Red Dead Redemption 2. I do know some of you in the Gaming Daddy community have expressed interest. In fact, you've told me that you're playing the game. So let me know what you think. If you're going to be telling me how the game is performing, also leave your specs of your rig on the comment section as well, so I can compare and see how it's running for you. And perhaps if Christmas comes early and I'm feeling it, maybe I'll get myself a copy on PC and just kind of try it out. But it's not looking likely, but I can change my mind as well. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Thank you very much for your time and audience, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Peace.